Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name is Josh and you're here for, man, is it Full Lid Friday already? Awesome. Last time it was way too long. I don't have a ton of time tonight anyway. There's lots to talk about, lots to get to. Got a couple packages too, which is pretty sweet. There is a lot to talk about today though, so I want to get right to it. So, if this goes in, I don't know, stuff. Man, every day. Let's get right to it. Since there's so much talk about, a couple of things have been happening this week. The Carl Lentz update. I've been talking a lot about Carl Lentz. If you don't know who Carl Lentz is, he's a Hillsong pastor from New York City, and he was a pastor of celebrities. He was like, there was no way that this guy wasn't doing it for fame and money and clout. Anyway, that's, just basically just in the outward appearance of something. If you ever wanted to judge a book by its cover, Carl Lentz was inside what was on the cover. Literally the person was the same person on the outside as he was on the inside, or portrayed himself to be. He used his clout and his fame and everything to get women. And so far we've seen one come forward, and in that case his wife caught him in that, and we now have learned that she's come forward and told the whole world about her story and how he lied to her and said that I don't think he said he was a sports agent. He said that he was, what did he say he was? He was a manager of celebrities. And so I guess in his mind he wasn't lying, because I guess he spiritually managed celebrities, I guess. I don't know. He also managed this lady, and though I don't want to give all blame to Carl Lentz. Oh yeah, it takes two to tango. She did eventually find out he was married and then continued on with the relationship. And in my books, that makes you bad. If you know that the person you're having a relationship with is married and they initially lied to you, then you let that person go and you apologize and you, call that guy out. You call his wife and say, I didn't know. I hate that I'm a home wrecker. And she's like, I'm so sad I did it. If she's so sad, why did she continue it? Anyway, not her, both of their faults is what I'm saying here. Carl Lentz mostly because he lied completely, and he's a pastor and he's got more to lose, and he had more, and he had more responsibility to be a man of God. And now we know he isn't. And he's spotted on the beach. They moved out to LA. He's going to be probably going down the Hollywood path. He's got, you know what? If Carl Lentz was anything, he's smart about who he connected with. Because a lot of those Hollywood people don't give a shit that he cheated on his wife, right? That's kind of par for the course as Hollywood's concerned, right? And so he's moved out to Hollywood. I'm sure his marriage is probably not going to survive this. They are apparently trying, and good for his wife Laura for doing that. But I've always told my wife, and my wife has always told me, if either of us ever cheat on each other, that's kind of it. I would never stay with a person that cheated on me. Never, ever. I just wouldn't do it. And if I ever cheated on my wife, she said the same thing. She cut my nuts off and throw me over a bridge. So it's kind of how this goes. I'm just saying, I personally, even as a Christian, believe that, that you kind of get one shot with that. And some people can argue with me that, maybe you can get another shot. Maybe you can make mistakes, but I just don't think that a moment of sex is just really not worth ruining your entire family. I look at my kids and I see how much I love them. I look at my wife and see how much I love her, and I see my family and how, not always perfect we are, but at the same time, I see how much they mean to me. And for a physical relationship to ruin my entire existence is absolutely not worth it. Okay. Just go do the thing you need to do, get your post-nut clarity and move on. That's all I'm saying. So Carl Lentz should have just, gone to the bathroom and had a quickie by himself before he moved on. Anyway, all that to say, she came forward and said, that she was sad that this turned out this way, and that it's just bullshit. She's getting a payday, and I don't blame her, but at the same time, she's just as dirty as he is. Not initially, if she was lied to, I get it, and she didn't know. But after finding out, she should have shut that shit right off right at the top. And she said she was devastated when he called her the night he got caught. So they were totally in love, invested in all that stuff. And I'm not saying that humans can't do that type of stuff. That stuff happens. But at the same time, when you make a commitment to somebody, you should probably keep it. And if you don't want to keep the commitment, you should at least let them know before you go do the dirty stuff, right? But as a pastor, again, we've discussed this before, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Can't go to his wife and divorce her and then continue to be a, multi-million-dollar, celebrity pastor. So he couldn't do that. But in the same end, if you guys out there, there's a question someone asked me, they emailed me. This is cool. Great question that kind of leads into this. But Carl Lentz had a responsibility to do something, and he decided to lead with his wiener. And that's where it got him. And now he's, again, moving to LA, and I bet you he's going to enter into Hollywood. And I hope not. I just don't like when people can just get off scot-free and then kind of move on and just continue to be successful after they use their success and their platform to, to do dirty shit. So, Carl Lentz, you're still an asshole. Anyway, The question came from, what advice would you give someone who is in a relationship, married or not, and their significant other tells them after 5 years and 2 kids that they no longer love them? I ask this because you're blunt, and I don't like things sugar-coated. I would like your feedback. So, I love this type of thing, because when we talk about things from a parenting perspective, and that's kind of what I try to do, you know, I guess I'm a parent, so everything I say is from my perspective. But this is a really, really, really important question, because a lot of us are married in relationships, long-term marriages, and these things kind of pop up in our brains. They pop up in our chats, and people come into your life, whether at work or through some happenstance, and things, you know, as humans, and this is what, remember when Myka said on yesterday's video, she said, well, I would never use the hall pass because my husband's so hot and I love him. Okay, we're all human, okay? I do believe as a human, you can love people as, you know, in different capacities, and romantic should be saved for the person that you're with, like married or in a relationship with, or if you choose to be in an open marriage. I'm just saying, it just all has to be consensual and it has to be talked about. In this case, it's a really hard question, because I just talked about Carl Lentz not telling his wife he wanted to go bang other girls, and all he had to do was just, you know, leave his marriage if that's the case, instead of hurting his whole family. Although it would have hurt no matter what, right? Let's be real. If you do go to your wife and say, look, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I don't think that we're compatible anymore. I kind of fallen out in love with you. You know, that's a real world conversation that happens a lot of times. Okay. And I'm not saying it's always honorable, but at least you were honest. Okay, at least you could be dick for it, you could be a wiener for it, you could be a biatch for it, whatever the case may be at the point, but at least you decided before you stepped out of your marriage or your relationship that you talked about it first and you said, look, I'm done here. Okay, now there's something, I'm not saying that's always the best thing, I'm just saying for someone to do that, to say, look, after 5 years, I'm no longer in love with you, that's a really, really, really hard thing to hear. I don't even know how I'd react if my wife all of a sudden came to me one day and said, I'm done. I'm not in love with you anymore. You fart too much. Your humor is bad. You know, you're neglecting everybody, or I don't like this, and I finally had my wits end at this, or, you know, or she fallen out of love with me for whatever reason. I would be completely and utterly devastated. I don't know what I would do. And we've been together for so long now, I can't even imagine my life without my family and my wife. I just can't imagine it. Like, I would be a loser. I'd probably live in a van down by the river. I don't know what I would do. I would be a complete and utter failure, probably. I would be a nomad, a vagabond, for sure. So I often think about stuff like this, and I think a lot of married couples do, and for people to say that you don't think about this, I mean, you do. And so I just say that it sucks. Of course it sucks. And I feel bad for the person that this was spoken to. I don't know if you spoke it to your significant other, or they spoke it to you. I imagine it's the guy speaking to the girl because she had 2 kids. Actually, it doesn't say if it's 2 kids. They just say their significant other tells them after 5 years and 2 kids that they no longer love them. So I don't know if this is a man or a woman saying this, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But in the end, I think that there has to be something said for at least they came to you, instead of, you know, going out and having a side thing or whatever it is. Maybe the conversation could be had to, like, because I think this sounds like it's really one-sided. And so maybe the situation calls for counseling, for sure. Absolutely. I even think Carl Lentz and people that cheat on their spouses, counseling is the first thing you should try anyway, at first. You know, therapy and all that stuff, and see if that works, so you can find the underlying issues. But counseling for sure. And if that's not the case, and you decide that you still love this person and you really want to go for it, I mean, I know I'm a Christian, but I know that a lot of people are exploring open marriages. And this has become way more acceptable in this new world of no slut shaming and, like, live your sexual life and all that stuff. And I'm not advocating you should do that, but it might be worth a conversation depending on how your family works. And I know that's not a lot of people's answers, and people will be like, I can't believe you said that. But look, explore whatever it takes to see if you can make something work if you still love that person, right? But again, if they've come to you and said that they no longer love you and they are, you know, I mean, you need to move on too. I mean, you need to own your worth, because you are worth a lot and you are valuable. And if someone doesn't love you anymore, I mean, it's not on you. You can't really blame yourself unless you put them in a position where you abused them or did something, you know, that pushed them away to not love you anymore, right? It's not always just as simple as they just fell out of love with you, so they're wrong, right? There are things that happen in humans that we change and we shift and our behaviors modify and we completely change. I'm a completely different person than I was 20 years ago, right? And that happens to people. People have new awakenings, and they have this idea where they want to just go live the life they never got to live. right? And they're like, I'm done with that. And that's selfish, yes. But this shit happens all the time. And it sucks. But at the same time, know your value, know your worth. And if this person doesn't love you anymore, move the hell on. And go find someone that will love you. Because everybody deserves to be loved. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for. That's my first initial impression. It's not cut and dry. And it's not always your fault if someone falls out of love with you. Sometimes it is. I mean, sometimes it's a dual thing where you just kind of hit a head. It's really interesting, this idea of long-term marriages. Rarely do marriages last as long as even I've been married, right? Or Jeff, he's been married like 20 years. Like people, it's a rare thing you see that. And people are like, whenever you say, oh, you've been married for 15 years, congratulations. It's like, wow, that's weird, how? And that sucks because in this world of shifting technologies and social media and connection, that stuff is way more easy to find new connections just like that. Just like that. And so when it's easier to step out and have, relationships with people at work and everything else, it all becomes clouded and muddy because people are inherently selfish. That's just the way it is. We're all inherently selfish, all of us. So that's a sad answer. I'm sorry. But thank you for the question. If you guys have other questions like that you think I might have some insight on and you want to hear my opinion on it, I'm happy to answer those types of questions. That's a hard one, and I hope that's not your case. That sucks if it is. But reach out to me if you need a Canadian Dad Challenge treat, if that helps at all. I'm not sure it will. But anyway, I failed you guys because I literally cannot find all the people who went on Instagram and said, follow the Dad Challenge podcast. So I cannot do the stupid lily brush draw because I'm a douchebag. So please, if you did that, you don't have to redo it. Can you please just Instagram me and say, hey, I just want to remind you that I said go follow Dad Challenge podcast, and I will write your names down as I get them, and then I will draw next week. I promise. I don't want to just fake it and be like, oh, so-and-so won. I don't want to do that. I want to actually do it true. So if you did say follow me on Instagram, please reach out to me and say that you did that, and I will put you guys in the draw for this. And, I'll try to send you guys something anyway. I failed because I've been really busy and I'm stupid. So that's it. Let's get into some packages. Yeah, it's package time. Got this little one today. Hope it's not spices. This might be underwear for me. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, there's a note. Happy birthday, Josh. Part of your 2-part present from Mel B. What is this? What is this? It is a bag, and it says, ahem, waste free. Okay, so there's 2 of those. Not gonna lie. Looks like it holds your wiener. Okay, so that's from Mel B, part of 2 parts. So that's the first part. I guess we'll find out what's next, maybe next week, because there's nothing else here. Okay, I don't know. All right, that's weird. Let's open this one. No poison. Oh, yeah. Boom. Good old Canadian socks. Look at those moose. Can't get it wrong, man. Moose. Those are beautiful. I love socks. And only happened when I turned 40. Cannot believe I'm almost 41. So who is that from? Is there a note in there? Enjoy your gift. Just a little Canadian pride to throw in since she said socks are always a great gift. From Sarah C. Thanks, Sarah. You're the bomb. Diggity fresh. I like the Amazon ones because I know they're not poison. Ooh, it's another box. What is this? Let's open it. Ooh. This is the belt I've been looking for. Ooh, that's a nice one. Look at that. Okay, so if you don't know about these belts, you should get one for your husband for Christmas, okay? So they go on, right? And there's this little nub here. And so it ratchets into the belt loop like this. Here, let me undo it. There's ratcheting on the belt, and it goes into through the thing, and it ratchets. Ready? See that? And it doesn't go. It's awesome. And then if you click this, it unleashes the latch. These are the best belts I've ever had, and this one is a beauty. I'm pretty sure this is from Gail. There's no message in it, but I'm pretty sure it's from Gail. Gail, if this is you, thank you so much, because I remember Gail reached out to me and said she sent me a belt, and that's amazing, by the way. Thank you. I don't see a note, but I'm going to assume it's from Gail. If not, reach out to me if you send it to me, and make sure you guys, if you send me a gift, please make sure you send me your address, because I'm going to send you a gift. That's how this rolls, okay? This is how we do this. I'm not just here to take gifts. I'm here to give gifts. All right, let's open this one up. This one's a little bit gone through this one's been through it. Oh, snap. Who's this from? From Heather Holmes. Cool name, by the way. All right, this is gonna be the best. Okay, so here we go. Boom. There is nothing quite like a dairy milk chocolate bar. I'm going to hide that in my studio because if my kids actually heard me right now, they could hear the chocolate wrappers from like at the park. I've never had these, so definitely probably really good. We have these in Canada. My wife loves these. I might just throw those to my wife so I can get other treats in return, if you know what I mean. Don't tell her I said that. Boom! What is this? Milk chocolate tea cakes. I've never heard of it, but it has chocolate in it, and I'm gonna like those. Boom! These are amazing. Man, this is gonna go in my stash here in the studio. No one comes in. Shh, don't tell. Ooh, Maltese reindeers. Yes! Somebody knows my love language. Oh, it's a card. Here we go. Happy birthday. Okay. Dear Josh, wishing you a wonderful birthday. Sending you and your family love and best wishes from England. Oh, this is from England, yo! I'm an American-born adoptee and appreciate what you do for children. Heather Holmes, XOXO, Justice for H. You are awesome, and she put her address in here, and so I will send you a treat. That is amazing. I love Brits. Ooh, what is this? That looks good. Wafer biscuits. I feel like I'm so refined now. I feel like Harry Potter. Got a whole thing of treats, or sweets, or whatever you call them. Lollies. What else? And then I got this. Galaxy Christmas Collection. All of these are staying down here. Nobody's getting any of this shit. Don't tell my kids, I'll kill you. Thank you for the birthday gifts, and I definitely make sure I will send you something in return because you're amazing for doing this. I love unboxing stuff on camera. It's my favorite. My favorite. Okay, because I grew up poor, Christmas was always good. If you're a poor kid in like Canada or in probably in anywhere, for whatever reason, and I know what reason, because Christmas is a time of big giving for a lot of people, but Christmas always was the best time of year because people were always super generous. So if you grew up poor like I did on welfare and stuff, churches would reach out and they would throw you presents. They would make sure you were fed. Like people loved you at Christmas. And so there was always way less stress around Christmas time at my house. There was less drinking. There was less yelling and abuse because it was a time where my mom didn't really have to worry about it. She knew that she was taken care of by the community. It was amazing. And so that's why I love to give back too. So that's why I think when I receive gifts, I feel like that's my love language. And to a lot of people that feels like that could be like construed as like you're greedy, I guess. I don't know, but there is a true love language. Receiving gifts is a true love language. And so when people send me thoughtful gifts, it's amazing, like amazing. I love to give gifts. I love to give thoughtful gifts and do things for people that are thoughtful. So I think that's kind of why Christmas to me is so important. Some people are like always like, why are you doing Christmas so early? Here's why. Christmas is the best time of year. So why would you not want it to last longer? Right? Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me. Okay, moving on. We are going to dive into, okay, so you guys know Anna Sacconejoly. So Anna Sacconejoly had an Instagram explosion today and said, ask me anything, okay? Anything. And the one thing she lands on is this one here. A person asks, Myka Stauffer, maybe I'm overstepping the mark, but your thoughts. Here's what she said first before I get into what we're going to talk about here in a second. She said, like with all people who are victims of cancel culture, how can any of us point fingers at someone or pass judgment on someone when we don't know the full story? It just blows my mind how people are so quick to start a witch hunt. I met her. I thought she was a lovely person. I have no clue what happened, and I don't care. Because it's not my business. I can't read the bottom. I haven't unfollowed her, and she has never given me reason to unfollow her. Well, Anna Saccone, or whatever the hell your name is, I'll give you a few reasons that you should unfollow her. Okay? She's fake AF. She's fake just like you. Like all you family vloggers who are like, I know that these guys have a podcast. I'm digging a little bit deeper into Anna and her husband. What's his face? I don't know. But I know that there's going to be some craziness that's going to be uncovered in this. And again, I'm not trying to find dirt or tea on people. I'm actually just trying to like watch the video and give you general commentary on the fakeness of their entire lives. Okay? Because I do believe that there's no such thing as a family vlogger out there who uses Instagram and YouTube to make their money being a real family. I just don't think it exists. And so she decided to chime in on this. And so she did. And now she gets to have commentary created on her answer. You want to know why people are so upset and how dumb do you have to be to not be able to read the room on YouTube right now? Okay? How dumb do you have to be like, there are like People Magazine, TMZ, articles galore written about Myka Stauffer, okay? I've done commentary. 100 other channels have done commentary on this person, okay? You've got to be so narcissistically stupid to realize that the world hates this person for a reason, okay? And it's good reason, okay? I know you don't know what happened. Hear me out, Sacconejoly. There's never a reason to rehome an adopted kid from China. Never a reason, especially when you told everybody you never would, that you just don't rehome kids, especially since you did everything in your power to get him here and then you monetized it. If you can't see that there's a problem with bringing a kid in here, monetizing the shit out of him before you even get him, making hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? Then getting rid of him because it's not convenient for him. I don't even care if this kid was the worst kid in the world, okay? I don't care if he was the worst. I don't care if he screamed at the top of his lungs 24 hours a day. I don't care. You made this decision to adopt this kid. You ignored the doctors who told you, oh, you better be careful. And you cried about it and sulked about it online. Sacconejoly, you know this because you're connected to her. You know all this. You're trying to tell me you just stopped talking to her all of a sudden, you don't know the whole story? You're not going to reach out to your friend that is your friend and say, hey, you know, I see this is going on in your life. Do you need someone to talk to? Anything you know nothing about it? So if you're such a friend to somebody, then why didn't you ask them a question? Why didn't you ask them what happened? If you can't see that there's something wrong with duct taping a child's thumb who is autistic and uses sign language to speak and then taping a little doll hand on there to laugh at it, if you don't see there's anything wrong with that, you, okay? If you don't see there's anything wrong with putting this child to bed early so you can hang out with your biological kids, you too, okay? If you don't see there's anything wrong with monetizing a kid and then get rid of them and then keeping his content on your channel to keep making money off it, you, okay? Sacconejoly, you are dead wrong. And here's why you're taking the stance on this. Because it's detrimental for you and your Coco Chanel fucking slippers and the lifestyle that you lead off the backs of the people who watch you, okay? You're not talented, family vloggers. None of you are good at what you do. You're fake as fuck and you suck ass. The only reason people watch you is because you're willing to put out your tits and everything online because you're yummy mommy or whatever it is, you do makeup or whatever it is. Okay, your family vlogging channels are so fucking shallow that I'm so sick of people standing up for other ones. Oh, don't come after, people are in my inbox, don't come after Sacconejoly. Oh, no, she's a good one. Don't come after Jessfam, she's a good one. None of these people are good. None of them. They're surface level fake people. Stop coming out. You don't know these people, okay? I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying they're evil. I'm not saying that, but they are fake. And so when the issue here is, and I'm going to say it so you can hear it in the back, okay? Here you go, ready? Is that so many people, they have millions of followers. Hear that, okay? Millions. Probably 97.9% women follow these vlogs. And then they stack themselves up against these fake moms who are absolute and utter bullshit when they put this stuff out in the thing. They do it for money. They do it because they have ad sponsorships. It's all about the money. Always has been about the money. Nobody vlogs. Nobody on this platform vlogs because they want to help you. Nobody does. They vlog because it helps themselves. So stop thinking they're doing something for you. Stop saying that they're doing it for you, that they're doing it the right way. There's nobody doing this the right way when you put your kids on Instagram. Jessfam, another one. You guys keep coming at me. Her kids have their own Instagrams, and they're not even 13. Maybe one of them is, okay? When you put all your kids on Instagram and put them out for the world and you manage their Instagram profiles and all this stuff, Sacconejolys, everybody, Instagram, they maximize all their platforms, okay, to make tons of money. They have a podcast where they did a podcast called The Problem with Family Vloggers. And then they go do a family vlog the next day. Listen here, Sacconejoly, and your douchebag of a husband. I'm coming after all of you now. If you're not going to stand up for the voiceless and you're going to stand up for the villains, you now become a villain in my books. You are now just as bad. If you're not going to call out bad behavior to your million-plus fans, all you had to do was say, what Myka did was wrong and I do not condone it. You don't have to say anything else except for like, I don't know what happened, so I don't even want to know. All your fans will be like, cool, good, that's a great role model. You're a great mom role model. I don't care if the person cured cancer. I don't care. If they rehomed a kid that they brought from another country, okay, monetized them, made so much money off them, faked everything, and did the things that these people did, and possibly rehomed them from a Facebook group, okay? If you can't see a problem with that, check yourself. Anna Sacconejoly, you guys are next. I will dismantle every single one of your fake ass videos too, if that means I'm gonna bring 10 people to come see what shitty people you guys are. It's on. I'm over people standing up for Myka. If you want to connect yourself to Myka, you're now a villain in my books. She is not redeemable. What she did was wrong, and if you don't come out and tell people what they did was wrong, to your million fans who follow you, you're condoning it in my books. I know this is a rant, and it is a rant. When you sit on there with your fucking $400 slippers, okay? Your giant ass house, your fucking husband has I don't know how many cars, Ferraris, and everything else. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. Here's what pisses me off about influencers. They know that they're influencing people. They know it. They know the powerful platform they have. The cockiness that exudes from this couple on their podcast, I don't care what you guys think. My gut tells me when I listen to them, these guys are just milking it for all it's worth. When they're done, when the beauty fades, okay, what are you gonna do? What is next for you? Because you're propping yourself up as this beautiful person. You live this fake ass life that all of these mothers and all of these women come to you to look to you to be that person. And what you put out there is absolute and utter bullshit, and nobody can live up to your standards. And so now people like me, Sloan, Brittany, a lot of people are now being like, let's be done with this. We need to make a coalition of YouTubers to fight against every family vlogger out there. There is, here, I'm gonna draw the line right in the sand here, everybody. You ready? Are you ready? And I'm gonna make a definitive statement that I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my YouTube career, however short it's probably gonna be. If you put your kids on YouTube without their consent, you're doing it wrong. I don't care how nice you are. And people were calling me out on this about the Jessfam thing. I don't care how cool you are or where you came from, that you came from rock bottom as a 17-year-old pregnant mom. I don't give a shit. You have a choice to make as an adult. Listen to me. Look at my eyes. To put your kids out there on a platform where you make money off of the backs of your children, I don't care if you give them every single penny of that money. That's not even the issue. You don't have their consent. It's not your place to put the entirety of your kids' childhoods online for them to see. And Jessfam, people are like, well, she said she'd take them off, and one time her daughter didn't want to be on, so she didn't have her on the vlog. Oh, well, clap, 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 superhero. Thanks a lot, redheaded superhero. Not all heroes wear capes, I guess. But it doesn't negate the fact that our kids have been on TV since they came out of a vagina, okay? I'm telling you, there is no justification for putting your kids on YouTube. There are no protections in place. Just doesn't happen. And I'm gonna, again, another line. Even if there was protections, even if there was, I still don't think it's proper. I still think you need to let your kids have a proper childhood. We do not know the ramifications of what's gonna happen to these kids. Somebody pointed out that, Kate, Nate plus 8 or 12 or whatever the name is, that apparently all her kids are messed up right now. All of them. Because TV ruined their lives. Because the fame ruined your life. At the core of this, of these family vloggers, is not that, hey, I'm a yummy mommy, let me show you how to clean in my tights, let me show you how my Christmas decorations, let me show you how good of a parent I am, let me show you this. Needless to say, Anna Sacconejoly, I just watched the video of you today. You put your toddler in a cold shower as a punishment and laughed, and then said, oh, I couldn't do it, I had to make my husband do it. That's just the beginning of this. I'm going to uncover it all, okay? I'm going to, if that means I have to make fun of you until you hate me or you copyright strike me, so be it. That's what this is for. You're gonna put your world out there, I'm literally going to demolish it. One video at a time, okay? Until at least a few thousand people, what utter fake humans you are, and to stop comparing themselves to you. Because in the end, you know that you're a fallible human, and what you put out there is for everybody to see this is the nice stuff. I don't care how real people think you are, okay? The line in the sand is drawn for me here at the Dad Challenge podcast. All family vloggers are on the table. Nobody's doing it right. Because, okay, let's say you are a parent and your kids are teenagers and they can consent. Then I'll watch it. And if you're funny, I'll watch it. Cool beans. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna say, my line in the sand, I know, I'm so definitive. My line in the sand is from kids who cannot make a decision. And we have to, you know what, if you wanna get technical and legal and you wanna get technical about it, then it's the age of consent where you live. How about that? The age of consent where you live. I'm done. with family vloggers because Sacconejoly, someone who everybody thinks is so good, comes out in defense of a horrible human being for doing what she did. The whole world hates this person. You're going to come out now, and now you're about to get ratioed. Get ready for it, Sacconejoly. You're going to get ratioed. Thank God these family vloggers don't have comments on their YouTube channels. But one way you can do this, one thing you can combat family channel debauchery is to not watch the fake bullshit. Stop watching it. Stop putting it on your YouTube. Stop using your social media currency to watch these people. Stop comparing yourself to them. Go somewhere else. Find something else to watch. Make your own way. Stop looking at these influencers on Instagram and YouTube for your inspiration of how to be a mother. I'm sorry. They're fake. And all you're learning from them is how to be fake. We can talk about all day long about how good some of these people might be, and sure they might be. But at the core of this are kids. At the core of this whole conversation we keep having, the reason why I keep making fun of Myka, Brittany or Brianna or whatever these people's names are, Anna Saccone, and all the people I'm coming for, okay? The reason I do it is because it is starting a conversation. I don't know if you guys are noticing the conversation is happening. It's happening. This Instagram post is proof that it's happening. Jessfam's post on Instagram the other day, it's proof that this conversation is starting to shape. It is starting to move. We are making headway. And Myka, could you imagine, of all the failures she had, the one good thing Myka has done has started a national conversation about how shitty family vloggers are and how much they have to be canceled. Thanks, Myka. So, if you don't think this is working, it's working. Keep talking about it. It's why I'm sitting here right now, looking at you, making fun of people, and it might be petty and whatever, and I don't care. I'm coming for all the family vlogs. We have to keep the conversation rolling. It has to stay at the forefront. And I'm going to try to keep it relevant and fresh, and I will continue to do it. And it's Sacconejoly and your stupid husband, you guys are next. Okay? It's on till the break of dawn. I'm going to continue the conversation. I hope Sloan does. I hope Brittany does. I hope BX does. I hope all the vloggers do. Why are we waiting until something crazy happens inside these families to start talking about them? Like, if one thing YouTube Mama Drama gets right is that they actually find all the little dirty parts of these people as they're going, right? They're looking for it, maybe for a petty reason. So be it. There's definitely a reason YouTube Mama Drama exists, because everybody likes to call out fake people and bring people down a peg or two. Because being fake should not be allowed to be your benchmark for being a human. 1.3 million followers on Instagram. That is who you influence. 1.3 million people. And you're going to sit there and say, nah, how can you judge somebody for what they did? Because we saw it with our eyes, asshole. That's how we can. At what point can you? At what point should you call someone out for bad behavior? Never? Because here's why Anna Saccone doesn't want to call it out. Because she does the same thing Myka does. They exploit their kids. And she has to stand on this side. She has to lobby for this to be like, no, it's okay. Don't come at us. Don't come at us because what Myka did. No, it's all good. You don't know anything. You don't know our real lives. Here's the one argument I hate from these stupid family vloggers. All of them. You don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know what I'm really like. You tell us what you're really like on your vlogs every single day. This is me. I'm real and raw. Here's what we do. Here's, my kid going through puberty. Here's my kid shaving her legs. Here's all the problems we had. Oh, it's over. I'm not okay. Blah, blah, blah. You tell us what we are supposed to see. And then you come out and say, well, you don't know what it's like. You don't know us. Can you not see the hypocrisy in this? So shut your mouth then and get off the platform. Oh man, I'm fired up today. I'm done with family vloggers. 110% done with all family vloggers. I'm angry. I'm sorry, guys. This is where people are like, you're so angry, Josh. You need anger therapy management systems. I'm good. This actually is therapy to me. To put this out there in a very passionate way actually helps me to process it in my brain. Some people think that's crazy. Maybe. But it actually helps me to process it. I don't plan to say these things. This is what spews. And so it's the truth that comes from my heart to you. Okay, so there's not much left to do except for let's dig into the, I'm not going to do any would you rathers or anything today. We're getting too long and I want it to be too long. And because I want people to watch. So it's time for the DCP Gift Bonanza. Draw names now. There are 75 people participating. I'm so excited. Thank you for participating. I'm going to close it now. I'm going to close it now. How do I close it? How do I close this? I'm going to draw names now. You're one clickety-click away from drawing names. Don't forget, even after the draw, you can still add people. Okay, we can still add people, but we're not going to. Today is the day we stopped adding people to the gift thing, and we're going to draw names right now. Are you ready? Boom. And you guys will now get an email for the person you're going to get. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but you guys are going to get an email when you've been paired up with somebody for the DCP Gift Bonanza. Remember the rules. $25 or under if you can't make things because you're, because you're lame. I don't care. It can be the lamest gift ever. Just do something cool. Color a picture. I don't know, make a macaroni picture frame. Oh, I got my person. He just came on my list. Oh, yeah, and I know this person. Okay, sweet. So, that being said, I hope you guys have some fun with that. And remember, we are going to be doing it December 18th on the Folded Friday. December 18th, I'm going to open up my chat live. I'm gonna put a Christmas tree up. I'm gonna play Christmas music, and we're gonna all open our gifts. Whoever wants to participate. You don't all have to participate. I'd love you to. That is gonna be happening, and I'm so excited. Thank you very much. Guys, look, I know I got passionate today about this thing, but again, maybe this is the time to draw a line in the sand for people who are like, look, if you want to follow family vloggers, I'm not gonna ever judge you for that. Look, it's not my place to tell you what to watch. Okay, it's never gonna be I will never judge you for doing what you want to do. Okay, unless you're exploiting kids, and I'll judge you. So don't take this, my passionate speech about hating all family vloggers to say that I'm going to hate on you. Because people reach out to me like, I like this one. Is that okay? I'm like, do what you got to do. I'm never going to judge you for doing something. If you get value from family vlogs, because whatever it is, and you love what they do for you, I'm not going to judge you. But for those of you who are reaching out to me and saying, thank God there's someone talking about this. I used to watch them, now I don't. I just want to make sure that the conversation's happening. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm even right. Okay? It just means that the conversation has to start happening. YouTube has to be lobbied at minimum, and I will say this again here, are you ready? To put protections in for kids. The end. And not just like Jessfam, like, oh yeah, I pay my kids like money, and because it's a huge tax break. That's why you pay your kids. I realize too that when you pay your kids, you can pay all the clothes you buy them, the food that you buy, the gas you use, your vehicles, your house expenses, mortgage, heat, hydro, internet, everything. It's all written off because your vlog, your family, is your business. There's a problem with that. When it all fades away, people, when Botox no longer can hold your face together, what are you going to do? Okay, when the younger, hotter yummy mummy comes up on your place, what are you going to do? People, stop putting your freaking all of your eggs in YouTube's basket. Again, and you know me, I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to go full-time on YouTube ever. Never going to happen. Because I'm not stupid. And I have, a family to take care of. I will not rely on the kindness of strangers to feed my family. Never gonna happen, okay? It's just stupid because one day you're gonna get canceled, like Sacconejoly, Jessfam, Myka, everybody else. The tide is shifted. I don't know if you guys are feeling that. The fact that these guys are making huge statements about this stuff, it's shifting. The conversation has started, thank God. I hope you have an amazing day today. It's a hard topic today. I feel fiery. I feel like I'm leaving you guys a little bit too negative, too hot. I'm sorry about that, but I don't know. Sometimes this conversation has to happen. There's a lot of shit going on in the world right now, and sometimes you got to, everybody's talking about this great reset. Maybe it's time to do a great reset about who we allow to influence us. Do me a favor. If you agree with me that people should not exploit their children on YouTube, go unfollow them. One simple thing you could do with your social media currency is, I don't believe that you should be using your kids to make money and putting that on them. So I'm not going to give you my social media currency as far as a subscribe is concerned. So I'm going to unsubscribe on Instagram or whatever it is you need to do. It might not mean anything to these people. And it usually doesn't, because you don't mean anything to them. All you are is a number for a paycheck. Okay? You don't see them doing their lives like I do. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I do this because of the conversation, the people I'm meeting. It's an amazing thing that I get to do. And I will do it until I can no longer do it. I promise you guys, I will always, as many times as I can, I will do live premieres and chat with you, and I will bring you into the conversation, and I will try to answer all of your things, or at least heart or down thumb you if you do a stupid comment. I will always be the person that is available to talk to if I can, at my capacity, without burning myself out. And if you watch these family vloggers, they don't talk to any of them. They always, leave in the comment below, you want me to do. They don't care about you. You are a number that brings in money. And if you don't see it, I'm sorry. There are no good ones. There's just no such thing as a good family influencer who uses their children to influence and make money. It's all about money. Happy Friday. It's a sad ending. Whatever. Maybe I'll put some music that's hopping. Anyway, guys, I hope you have an incredible weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow is the date night that we're doing. We'll see how it goes. She reached out to me. She's like, she's not sure. She's having a little bit of cold feet, not really, but she's like, I don't really want to invade his privacy. So what we're going to do is we're not going to invade his privacy at all. We're not going to say his name. We're never going to put him on camera. And even at the end, if they're vibing, I'm just going to talk to him on the phone. I'm not actually going to put them in the chat or anything like that. Regardless, it's going to be a freaking fireside in the studio tomorrow night. Play some music. talk a little bit. I will answer your questions. I'm gonna probably do it on StreamYard. So if a couple of you want to pop in and talk about these types of situations, family vloggers, maybe you want to argue with me about how I'm wrong about family vloggers. I am happy to hear your side of it. And you know, because I'm not always right and I'm always learning. But as far as I'm concerned at this point, I've kind of had it. I'm kind of done with this because this is still happening. Can we agree on that? Anyway, I will see you tomorrow night. Thank you for joining me today for Full Lid Friday. Thank you for the gifts. Like, thank you so much. I am so blessed. But I want to show you this quick. I was at Shoppers Drug Mart picking up my packages. It's the post office, and I found these. They now have Christmas mini eggs. I don't know if you have these in the States, but if you don't, let me know, okay? Because these are crack cocaine. They're amazing. I think they're actually made of crack. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.